Oh,
I didn't see you guys there. Well, welcome back. Today you're going to find out how Piss and Chris end world hunger and world peace. You're watching 6 Deep. Back with another episode of 6 Deep with your favorite hosts, Piss and Chris.
I mean, he's my favorite host. I don't know if I'm anybody's favorite host.
You know what?
But
I don't know if you guys can see the time here. It is 11:40 at night, and guess what?
Perfect time for a 6 Deep, my friend.
You're goddamn right. And this barometer is not starting at the green level. I'm going to go ahead. Doop, 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 doop.
Yeah, we're in a healthy shade of orange right now.
Yeah, I was going to
say. Code level
I'm,
orange.
Yeah, we are at officially code level orange. Man, you know, I am so excited to be just back here doing the podcast.
I'm not excited.
Really? I'm stoked that 6
No,
Deep.
I have to play like the antithesis.
Oh.
Easy for...
easy for you to say.
Beers are working.
Yeah. You know, we were just about to start filming, and I was looking up some interesting shit. I just found out that it's actually colder here in Phoenix right now than it is in the northern tip of Alaska. Not Alaska, Antarctica.
Didn't we find out, too, what is it the Galapagos Islands? Or is it G place? Is it Guatemala or the very different places?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But one of those two places, let's say Galapagos.
Galapagos. Say
That's
that 10 times fast.
But anyways, one time a year at one of those places, it rains. Every year, same time of year, it rains fish for some reason, and scientists.
Oh yeah, hold on, we got to figure out that. That's ridiculous. Like they were like, oh, and they like mentioned it as such like a nonchalant thing. Like, yeah, it just rains fish for like a couple days out of the year.
I just like how it says scientists cannot explain that. I'm not wearing socks right now or shoes. Nobody wants to look at my gross feet.
Honduras.
Oh man, I was way off. Samsonite.
There's actually a question that says which country rains fish. So I don't know. We got to do some more research into that. Yeah, I don't know. The other stuff that that I was looking into was last episode, the rebirth, mind you, of 6 Deep.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Chris kept making fun of my my White Claws and calling them Zimas.
Yeah, it was irony.
Yeah, but
I was trying to be ironic.
Do you guess? And you were the one that told me because I assumed that Zima was still a company. But
I don't think they're around anymore. Can we fact check that?
I just did. I figured it out. So when would you guess was the last time they sold Zima in the United States?
I'm gonna say 2005.
Well, we made it a little further than that. It was 2008. So thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama.
It was safe under the Bush administration. And actually, I got to figure out what was the. It was 2008 though, and it was owned by I think it was like Miller. No, it was the Coors, I think.
Wouldn't surprise me. Anytime an idea like this comes up, one of the big companies snatches it up. Here's another interesting fact.
Oh yeah,
you go to the grocery store and you check it. Oh, go ahead.
It was the Miller Coors company. I didn't realize that those two were affiliated, so that's kind of neat. But yeah, they ended it back in 2008. Guess where it's still sold today, though? Like it was sold in another country, and it never stopped selling, and it's still there today. It was a super successful market for it.
China.
It's kind of super racistly close, yeah, but not China.
Japan.
It was super Japan, yeah. So
it was Japan.
Yeah, Japan. Yeah, they still drink Zima, and it's like super popular apparently. So
I'd love to find the calorie count.
Full disclosure,
Zima.
I still don't know what the fuck this is, but the Zima was actually, they call it like the Crystal Pepsi of like alcoholic drinks because it's a malt beverage. So
Wait, Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah, remember Crystal Pepsi? It was like a clear. It was like a clear Pepsi. It's like the 7-Up looking Pepsi.
I missed that one. I
Really?
didn't.
Clear Pepsi? Remember it came in like a clear bottle and
I
everything.
remember Coke Zero.
I'm gonna flash
that
a
whole
zero.
canard.
Yeah, there's gonna be a Zero Pepsi picture flashing up on the screen. Pepsi, I think it was. Or
I'm
was
digging
it
the
called?
couch set here. I'm going to change the subject slightly as you're looking that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I had mixed feelings about not doing this in the studio, and now I'm digging it. Although
No, I screwed up. It was Crystal. Did I say Crystal Pepsi?
you
last
did
time?
say Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah, I said Crystal Pepsi. Yeah, so it was. Yeah, Crystal Pepsi was the clear Pepsi too. So anyway, but yeah, they were saying that it was a malt beverage, and much like the White Claws, it's also 5% booze. So yeah, there's
Nice.
your Zima lesson of the day. Sorry to cut you off about the couch.
Speaking of Crystal, I joined a new church down the street, the Crystal Methodist Church. Real great group of folks.
Yeah.
Services are really late though, for some reason, and everybody's wide awake.
They always ask you how important tooth retention is.
How important is tooth retention to you?
Yeah.
30 Rock reference. Dr. Spaceman.
Yep.
Dr. Spachemin.
What's his name? Parnell?
Chris Parnell,
Yeah.
dude. Dude's awesome.
That guy's my hero.
I need to figure out how to get this mic not covering myself the whole time. Oh yeah, welcome back to Homer Simpson's dick.
Nice.
Hey you.
And classic 6 Deep, we're making the same jokes over again. So
Yeah.
I went back.
Episode 2 are recycling content already.
Oh God, you guys have so much to look forward to. I went through today. Actually, we were re-listening to some older 6 Deep episodes. That was actually a lot of fun. It's like that same fucking Ricky joke from Trailer Park Boys. We made a lot of Trailer Park Boys references in the last show.
By the way, I'm drinking Hawaiian Punch spiked with vodka shots, and I think that it lands me at somewhere around a 5%
Speaking of
ABV.
We're
So just in case anybody's wondering, I am still very much on the path to creamy goodness here.
yes, and I have to point out something terrible right now. Are we
Terrible.
missing the beer bell? Do you know where that went to?
Oh
Oh,
my
is that
God.
up? Oh, I think
I
I,
got
see
it.
it up on the
I
counter.
got you.
Okay, rescue mission.
Hold it down.
Yeah, some other exciting stuff. I don't know if you guys knew this. I had no idea, but there's something called mini boats, and you need to check that out. People are making these like little 5-foot long boats with like trolling motors on them and stuff. Looks like a ridiculous amount of fun. So for about 3 hours today, I was like, you know what? And mind you, we're in the middle of the desert in Phoenix. There's no water around us. And I'm sitting here like, dude, wouldn't it be great to have a fucking boat right now?
I feel like we should have it up in the frame here. So
Yeah.
it's
Well, I
just
like to be able to reach it.
You reach that
Yeah.
center frame, kind of. No, not even close.
Can I reach it? Oh, that's a reach. I don't know.
How about right there? You give her a test try.
That's
there you
good.
go.
I like that.
There you go. Anyways, I don't know. So this is 6 Deep. It's our old show from way back in the day, and we're launching it on the Depress Mode Facebook page. This is the most confusing branding of all time, but
Speaking of
here's
that,
a guy who's enjoying it.
what do you want to do there? Because I was thinking that we change. I don't want to get rid of Depress Mode. Obviously, that's still a fundamental piece of Piss and Chris, and it'll probably be coming up in this episode here as well. But I think
Oh, we're playing some music tonight.
Yeah.
And who's playing that music?
Depress Mode.
Right.
Depress Mode.
That's what I'm saying.
Where kids' seats are still just $5. Because I had to bring that joke back because we do it in every podcast. But
I mean, you do it in every podcast.
I know that's my thing. Just let me have it. God damn it.
Okay, he gets one thing.
So my question is to you: what do you think about switching the channel name to All Things PNC? So it's our
The Facebook page?
so it's our YouTube page, but then we can do all of our Piss and Chris projects on that Facebook page.
It wouldn't cancel out or remove the tens of fans that we have.
No, we actually have 17 mediocrely,
Whoa, we picked up 4 more then since the last time I tuned in.
was it? Or maybe it's 14. I don't know.
I feel like that's including us.
But, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the little people. Oh, my God.
That's such a shitty thing to say.
17 followers, yeah. So we're big time and recorded, my friend.
Hey, help us by sharing this, and share it on your page, and help us get across that 20 like, or what is it, 20? That's not subscribers. I've already forgot what the freaking terminology is. People, or I guess 20? Likes. People that like the page.
I think so.
Followers.
Yeah, I think you can follow. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, you follow a page on.
So
Facebook.
let's hit 20 followers.
All right, 20 followers. That's 3 more.
Somebody out there.
So if you have 3 friends,
it's like if 3 of our people asked one of their friends.
Oh.
That would help us right there. You guys could help solve this crisis that we're in. Speaking of crisis, piss.
Oh my God.
Boom, we're in like a week, or month 2 or 3 of this coronavirus thing. It feels like month 6, but
well, apparently they
I feel like it's week 4, something like that, since they announced it. 5?
No, way more than that, because they originally started talking about it back in January.
Yeah, I guess it didn't start getting real. I feel like the last 3 weeks
and then
is when it got real.
Yeah, the beginning of February was
affecting things, you know.
Yeah, beginning of February is when Trump started I don't know, they started doing stuff, you know. So they started doing stuff. They started doing like the travel bans and all that shit recently, but they
well, not last night, but the night before. Or no, we already covered that. The last podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the newest thing, as I understand it. Well, the president did an announcement, an address, you know, in front of the curtains in the Oval Office. My fellow Americans.
what was the thing he said at the end there? At the end of the speech.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
What else do you expect when you're like the president of the United States and you gotta
Dude just wants to go golfing, and then there's all this shit.
Listen, I thought it was just gonna be a lot of whores and hanging out, but turns out, you know,
I haven't gotten my dick sucked in the Oval Office once. I think that's injustice.
Hillary, where's Hillary? I heard she's got a new book deal.
Oof. Not even Bill Clinton wants Hillary Clinton to suck his dick.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, watching back, I saw a clip where Trump, 2011, he goes, "Yeah, but I like Bill Clinton. He's a good dude. He's a member of my golf club at Mar-a-Lago. You know, he's a good guy. He's been treated roughly by the press, and then the whole time he ran against Hillary, he's a rapist." I don't know. I don't want to get on politics.
I know.
I just feel like you almost are forced to, because like every single late night show, everything you turn on is Trump, 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 Trump. For all these people that hate Trump, God damn it, if they don't mention his name every 4 seconds.
Dude, speaking of the late show shit, that's Stephen Colbert.
Oh yeah, did you guys watch him have a meltdown the first night he didn't have an audience?
That was ridiculous.
That should show you how much these people are just like addicted to attention and applause and whatever. Like Stephen Colbert's just sitting there at the desk just chugging brandy or whatever, you know. Just
yeah, that was actually pretty cool. I was like, man, look at there. Like we start doing
Scotch.
6 Deep, and then right after Stephen Colbert starts ripping our model off. I paid attention to that. That's bullshit.
Yeah, see, my theory is that he's got guys on the inside looking at all the real, path trailblazers, if you will.
Yeah.
And somehow they spied us. I know. For some reason, this is the snuggiest couch.
I'm getting swallowed in this couch, and my balls just got strangled.
I lost contact with my balls minutes ago.
Yeah, I lost feeling in my balls.
But I hear they're up to good things. So, anyways, you bust into a second can already?
Oh yeah. But I already hit the beer bell like 4 times, so I figured that counted under the.
Well, it counts now.
The act of beer bell. I actually the foot activated beer bell. I like that. That's classy. That's something new that we could add visually to this show.
Check this out, sports fans. Tonight, actually, yesterday we realized when we posted, or no, I guess today was the first day it was up on Facebook, right? The last podcast.
Oh, well,
God,
technically
so
last night was I uploaded last night, but yeah, people started seeing it.
And was
today.
it was the day before that we recorded it?
Yes.
So it was Wednesday, and today's Friday.
God damn. Time goes by.
Time. Why you punish me? Oh, hey, speaking of that, well, the whole purpose of what I was trying to say there was we put up basically a classic-style episode of 6 Deep, and the reason there are gigantic chunks of silence in there is because Facebook totally cut us.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we could get away with it on Facebook. Turns out we cannot. So
Right, so we got to do a quick State of the Union on that.
So we've got a solution.
Yeah, okay.
Uh,
Hold on. Go for it.
When we go to commercial break now, we are going to, or music break or whatever, like a traditional radio station. We're just going to go over there. You guys can't see it from here. But to our secondary stage area, much like a late night talk show, we've got a music stage and a place to speak and all that
We can't
good stuff.
afford a John Baptiste, so we have to do it ourselves.
You got me, baby.
Yeah.
Oh! Yeah, so we're going to jam live. And we're taking requests all night, so that doesn't.
Oh, dude,
no,
I was like,
it's
okay.
all pre-recorded.
So,
Magic.
What was that? What's that guy's name? Mark Riblet or Ribley or something?
Oh, the guy that does the loops?
Yeah.
Rob would know. Do Rob.
Yeah, so
I don't know, but Mark
our
something.
number one fan, Do Rob, we need you to comment below what his name is. It's like Mark Riblet or something.
I don't think you're too far off. It's Mark something or other.
Yeah, but anyway, I was watching him. He did like a live thing on Facebook, and he was actually doing like an old school like Ustream kind of like live streaming deal, and he actually had his like phone number up in the corner. So I would like to do that.
That's so awesome. Hey, you can put our business number up
That's
there.
what I'm saying. We could put the business number up there, and then what would be funny
Genius.
is since it's our business phone number, I could accidentally answer the phone and be like, "You've reached 6 Deep with Biss and Chris.
Can
What's
we
your
tell-
call?" You know, and they're like, actually, I needed help with it. It's like, oh, okay.
I feel like you should tell everybody what our business name is because it's awesome, and of course we have to do something funny with it.
Yes. Yes. So
I mean, I'm putting it up to you there. If it's a bad
Well-
idea for whatever reason, you would know. And
I don't think that's not a bad idea. So anybody who's started an LLC has probably at this point realized like how difficult it is to like figure out a legal name you can use for your company, which is why like Google exists and company names like that, because like you can just make up a random word that nobody's used before and then you can get the rights to it. But it's very difficult to like, come up with a creative name and it's not already taken on. And we were doing stuff like PNC Industries and PNC Enterprises and stuff like that. It's like all
PNC
fucking
Global.
big. Yeah, it was like, whatever, Profit and Challenges Inc. or whatever and all this shit. So I had to I was so pissed at the company I was dealing with. I was just like, man, I need to come up with a name for this. So there's an awesome show which we've made reference to in earlier 6 Deep episodes, and for sure in an Evening with Piss and Chris, called 12 Ounce Mouse. It's an Adult Swim show.
One half of the guys that made Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Matt Malero, I believe, is the guy that.
Yeah. So it's it's probably debatably like the shittiestly animated show on Adult Swim.
Yeah, so Dave Willis, the other guy, goes off to do Archer and a bunch of
That
huge,
dude did great. Yeah.
huge things, and Matt Malero goes off to make the shittiest cartoon ever made.
But
And we are probably the number one fans of that.
Super huge fans, and it featured 9 Pound Hammer, which, let's be real, is like the best in-house band or whatever they used for.
I like shows that are so shitty where you're like, there's got to be more meaning to this, and then you end up imparting like this grandiose plot to maybe just a bunch of random bits of information that you're being fed through the show. Maybe it's all nonsense, but we seem to think at the last like viewing all the way through the series that there was like some like really crazy.
There is a
overarching
master
plot
plot through
line.
that creeps through the entire show.
Like it's a simulation, isn't it? Isn't that?
Yeah. Well, and I think too, there might not be any meaning, but your brain tries to like come up with some sort of rationale to tie the whole thing together. Anyway, you got to check it out. If anybody has, here's a cool hack. If anybody has Roku, download the Adult Swim little app deal for Roku, and then you can actually watch all the episodes of 12 Ounce Mouse for free. So that's kind of neat. But anyway, so in the show, first episode actually, so you don't even have to do that much digging. First episode, the main character has to deliver this other character to a location called Cheese Industries.
Full circle.
Cheese Industries. So as a joke, like the guy comes back, he's like, "Hey, just want to let you know, PNC Enterprise or whatever, it's not gonna work." And I was like, "Fuck it, try Cheese Industries LLC." And I was like, well, that for sure isn't going to work because, I mean, there's probably a lot of agricultural places and stuff like that. Nope. Cheese Industries, totally accepted. So I am I am the legal
Proud
yeah, and
owner.
Chris is the only other member of Cheese Industries LLC, a fully recognized company in the state of Arizona. So pretty neat.
Too legit to quit, baby.
Yep. But anyway, we're gonna use that phone number probably.
Phone number.
And I
for
want to
Cheese
have it
Industries.
I want to have it like up in the corner of the screen so that anybody from Facebook or whatever can call in. We could actually do this live. So, actually, that's yeah.
That's another thing is we're gonna try to maybe not the next episode or possibly that'd be a fun challenge. We're gonna try to figure out how to incorporate either Skype or FaceTime. I think FaceTime might be a little bit more
I
stable.
think FaceTime's the
running
way to
this
go
off
because
of
we're
Mac,
on. Yeah, we're all
so-
on Apple products and shit like that. So we're trying to get our number one guest from earlier episodes of this show, Rob.
Yeah, Rob
Which-
is actually one of the few friends, if not the for Six Deep specifically. I think he's the only friend that made it on Six Deep. Or no, well,
Did Anderton make it on, or was that on on an evening with Piss and Chris?
did he? I don't remember that.
He was on, or at least I don't know.
That'd be awesome, but I can't remember.
And then
I
BS
remember-
was the only
yeah,
other one, and that
Susco.
was
I don't like that guy anymore, so fuck him.
yeah.
But anyways, long story.
But for sure, Rob's gonna be back on. We're gonna figure that out.
We will figure out, much like the dudes in Brokeback Mountain said to each other, Rob, we can't quit you.
We can't quit you.
So anyways, I mean, I don't know if this is real time, but we're 22 minutes into recording here, so I'm assuming that's about, 18, 19 minutes into the show.
Yeah. So why don't we go
Wanna-
ahead and take a quick break?
Do a break. We're going to do some music, buddy.
Yep. Again to
This is all
reinforce
prototype here.
Yeah,
so.
to reinforce what we said in earlier episodes, because we gotta keep the cohesion going, the 8-year cohesion. We do not do any commercial breaks because nobody's paying us to do this, and
Although,
we're
I would gladly take...
we are accepting sponsorships,
There you
and
go.
if you want to contact us, you can contact us at the email address.
What's
which
that
is
email
the-
address?
The number 6 deepradio@gmail.com. That's
See,
the
this sign here is
number
confusing
6.
because it spells it out.
Deep
This is wrong.
radio.
This is wrong.
What's
That's
wrong? Well, no, just
Well,
this
no,
part.
right here. I'm saying this thing here says
this
it's
guy
spelled out, but that is the
The
number
6
Deep Radio.
deepradio@gmail.com. And you can also obviously slide into our DMs on Facebook if that's a thing you can do.
I mean,
If you
with
want to
proper
sponsor us.
lubrication.
Also, Zima, I hope if Zima's listening right now, we
Zima's
are
trying to
totally
make like a fierce comeback.
So we've mentioned you a lot of times in the last couple episodes. Throw us a bird dog. Give
I
us
feel like this is where you get like a case of Zima delivered in the mail with like a thank you
with like
letter.
a hey, CEO of
Thanks for mentioning us.
Chuck Stein, CEO of Zima Enterprises.
On that note, we really
Japan.
like Rolex watches too. So
Yeah,
hopefully
you know
they
what?
catch wind of this.
Well, actually, since the coronavirus, a lot of jokes are being made about trading toilet paper for Rolex. They're like, hey, I got a whole 24 pack.
Hey, here's two guys that just stocked up on toilet paper. So take that, virus.
I know, I love that. There was like people complaining online. They're like $21 for toilet paper. I'm like, have you seen toilet paper prices recently? It's ridiculous. I'm
Yeah.
talking
I'm about ready to
pre-corona.
start wiping myself India style. Just
my God.
left hand, dedicate it. You don't shake with that one.
Jesus.
That's why they don't shake with the. They don't eat their food. They
I
don't
was
do
thinking
anything
about
with their
like
left
growing
hand.
some banana leaves in the backyard or some shit, but barehanded.
What's that like really fuzzy kind of weed thing that grows in Minnesota?
Well, we have
It's like a
it's called
soft,
like rabbit's ear or something like
yeah,
that.
rabbit cabbage or some shit.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
God, that stuff. I never did try it, but I feel
rabbit
like
lettuce.
if anything, that would be better than toilet paper.
If you can Google, go on to.
It's like these soft little kind of round, elongated leaves, and man, feels like cotton growing naturally
So
out of the ground.
apparently,
so.
rabbit lettuce is not a thing. What was the other thing? Rabbit ear lettuce. There you go.
No idea.
But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and take a commercial break.
We're gonna take a
excuse me,
music break.
A music break. No commercial. Commercial free.
Commercial,
That's right.
commercial free.
No commercials. Here on your favorite radio station / podcast / Facebook thing, which is also available on YouTube. We'll be right back. This is Six Deep with your favorite hosts, Piss and Chris.
station. Got her own motivation. She comes round and she goes down on me. And I make it smile like a drug for you. Do ever what you wanna do, coming over you. Keep on smiling while we go through. One stop to the rhythm that divides you. Then I speak to you like the chorus to the verse. Chop another line like a chord with the curse. And I come a freak show, take the stage. And we give them the games to play. She said, I want something else to get me through this sandwich I'm kinda like. Baby, baby, I want something else. I'm not listening when you say goodbye. The sky was cold, it was bounce. I was taking sips out through my nose, and I wish I could get back there, someplace back there, running in the pictures she would take. You a crystal mouthful if you want until you break it, don't stop. It won't come down, take stop, and a tick-tock bell. Bump for the drop, and then I bumped up. I took the hit that I was given, then I bumped again. Yeah, I bumped again. I said, how do I get back there to the place where I fell asleep inside you? How do I get myself back to the place where you said I want something else to get me through this sandwich I'm kinda like. Baby, baby, I want something. I'm not listening when you say goodbye. I believe in the sand beneath my toes. Beach gives a feeling, earthly feeling. I believe in the faith that grows, and the full right chords can make me cry. But when I'm with you, I feel like I could die, and that will be alright, alright. Crashing into us, crashing in the velvet roots in the sea. What you have done, the edge to feel alive. Now I'm struggling to survive every day. See, we're wearing that velvet dress, yeah. You're the priestess, I must confess. Those little red panties, they pass the test. Set up around the belly, face down around the mattress. One, and then you hold me. We're broken. So that I want to do just a little through myself. Hanging underground, I'm scared I might bumbling down. And I will run for my life. It's got locked down in a smile, but nothing is alright, alright. Said I want something else to get me through this life. Baby, I want something else. Not listening when you say goodbye. Goodbye. There's someplace back there, someplace see you right now.
All right, and welcome back to Six Deep, the Couch Commanders.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I'm not even gonna.
Semi-charm,
I'm
buddy,
not
that
even
was
joking
fun.
around anymore. This has gone full red. We're in the red.
Yeah, dude. As evidenced by our previous song, but that was fun.
Oh,
I'm digging
yeah.
it. I was having fun.
Well, I told Chris like
Yeah, it
it's
was miscommunication, whatever.
I've been up since like 5 a.m. It is now midnight 20. And Chris is like, oh, yeah, and then on top of this, we're going to do, like, the live jam and everything. I'm like, God damn, I was ready to do that at, like, 5 o'clock. And now it is midnight 20. You guys are probably watching this at, like, a reasonable time.
Buddy. We
Oh
rock
my
here
God.
at Six Deep. Woo!
Oh, my God.
It's a show about
We were
being
just talking
reckless.
about Zima, and then all of a sudden I
Reckless.
signed up for
Yeah,
live tunes.
reckless.
Yeah, no, I'm down with that. I'm down with that. I'm
That's
cool
six
with
deep.
that.
You never know. I mean, sometimes it's a complete shit show. Sometimes it's amazing. And sometimes, just sometimes.
They came from somewhere back in a long ago. See, I was hoping. What happened to us? We were gonna learn Hall and Oates. You make my dream come true.
I just can't figure out how to make that like.
Bow. Grab the acoustic. You well post smoke if you need to smoke.
Yeah, I do. I mean,
Still
like, I don't know. I
gots
need
to
to kind of like
smoke.
workshop that one a little bit. I'll figure it out. There's always that like. I don't play the real version of any of these songs. I play like the Chris version of all these songs. You make my dreams come true. Waiting for you.
Waiting for do now. This is all for do. It's hard to say what it is we do for do.
Dude, we should play All For You next, dude.
All for do?
All For Do.
If we sing it as all for do, I will join you. No, I think I got one.
Oh, dude, you know what I was thinking? Oh, go ahead, but I got a great idea.
Yeah, the
after
only
this.
fuck up that I had, I was like, hey, let's test out the mic on the Third Eye Blind track, and then Chris is like, yeah, for sure, and then we do it.
I don't know,
and he
it just
goes through
ended up
the
I
whole
felt
song.
it, so we
Yeah,
went
he
through
was
it.
into the groove, so my bad for I don't know, I kind
Don't
of
worry
phoned it
about
in
it.
on that one.
Nobody's
but-
watching this shit anyways. We're just having a good time, dude.
Are you saying nobody's watching this right now?
Come on, man.
Nobody's watching this
Be
right
real
now.
with ourselves. We're having a good time, and Piss and Chris have a good
There
time
are
no matter
tens. There are tens.
if people are watching or not. We're having a good time.
Tens.
If you're sitting at home and it's late at night, it's a quiet night,
You're naked.
bored, you're naked, you're touching yourself.
Yeah.
You're
know?
thinking, hey man, I wonder if Piss and Chris are having a good time right now. You know what?
And then you flip on six
Bet your
deep and
bottom
you,
dollar these two boys are having a good time.
that tomorrow there'll be sun.
There'll be sun. Never understood that before, but yeah, her adopted guy is Daddy Warbucks.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that makes sense. He's a guy who capitalized off of both sides of the war. The Rockefellers,
yeah,
Rothschilds.
And he calls himself
And,
Daddy,
Yeah.
which you know.
Well, I mean, I guess he is kind of her daddy because he's taking care of the bills. So
Yeah.
you got that going on.
So she pretty much has.
Annie
Terrible.
is an orphan. She's a child, Piss.
Little Bosnian orphans. Oh my God!
Think about the little
that's
Bosnian kids. I can't
goddamn.
ring the bell because I'm drinking in an
Well,
unconventional
your
way. I have
thing,
to
though,
do mixies.
You added a ton of vodka to that, so
I
I
feel
would
like
say
I got halfway through.
yeah, I was
I
gonna
got,
say
there's like 3 shots of vodka in here.
yeah. So per every shot, you can divide the container respectively, and so you can hit it
fierce.
when appropriate. Because that was the
fierce.
other thing. I was like, man, we are adults now since the last time we.
Yeah, but fuck that. That's
No, but that's what I'm saying. We should be doing like shots and shit.
Oh man,
I didn't mean grown ups. I meant like we're old enough where we're old enough where alcoholism has advanced where normal beers like we were doing High Lifes before.
still stuck on that.
I
thought.
micturate High Lifes at this point in my
Yeah, I don't think we could get drunk off of High Life. Think of how many you'd have to drink.
yeah.
Ooh, that's a crisp.
That was super crisp.
The
crispness that only Zima can provide.
champ is so
And they
crisp.
were calling it like Zunk and shit too. They were putting Z's in front of everything. Zima. Who would have thought that wouldn't have worked out? Do you remember the Zima ads though? I'm stuck on Zima. Do you remember that they'd have like the chick and she's like on like one of those chase lounges, but it was like in the sand on like a Sandals beach resort kind of fucking thing, and it was like Zima.
I just
and you're
remember when it was
"Holy
like a
shit."
dark bar, but it was lit with like like the new fluoro lighting at the time. Like everybody went from incandescent to fluorescent, and it made it look
don't
like
know what
all
that means.
futuristic. Basically like that yellowy light that kind of we're shooting in right now versus like that super blue, like Crest white strips commercial color like lighting. That super sterile.
Yeah.
I just remember it was like that, and then just somebody does something, and then they set a Zima on the counter at the end. That's all I remember.
Fucking Zima.
But it was the drink of hot chicks at the time because it's a low calorie drink. Still get fucked up. I mean, let's be real here. We are all after the same.
You know
thing.
what, Chris? I have to tell you, there's no point in being media influencers
Oh, is
if
that
we
what
don't.
we are?
Obviously.
I feel like
There's no
camel
point
toe
in
going.
doing
It
that
looks like
if we're
camel
not going to
toe,
use
but
our
it's
powers for
not.
good. And I want to use our powers to start a hashtag that says "Make Zima Great Again." And listen, it might already be great. I think I have the article pulled up right here.
Immaturity level 1000.
Listen, this is no time for maturity. Okay. Hold on. But there was like a thing
Play
that
with my
said,
pencil dick over here, dude.
huh?
Oh my god. Having such a good time here. It's 6 deep. Gotta do pisses. Over the top radio voice. I remember when we started
Okay.
6 deep, that was like something we really thought we needed to do.
Well, that's because, we okay, so podcasting was a relatively new thing at the time. And
It was like us and Adam Carolla.
It had been around. Remember, like when
Adam Carolla was one of the first successful podcasters.
Very extremely true, and I think Dave Ramsey or something. Was Dave Ramsey ever on terrestrial radio, or was that just podcasting?
If you put a gun to my head right now and said, "Who's Dave Ramsey?"
Dave Ramsey, the
I'd say you
financial
just
guy.
made
He's
that-
like the financial Rush Limbaugh kind of guy. Wow.
I don't.
Obviously, that kid
Obviously,
doesn't.
I'm not doing great with finances right now. So
Yeah. Well,
this is such a bad camel toey. There we go.
I know.
I was just like, there's something I gotta do.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to 6 Deep.
What's
I'm just like man-spreading because in protest.
Jerry, what's my name?
Is it Latoris? I don't know. What is it?
Mulva?
Mulva? Militarism? I don't know.
Mulva?
It's Dolores.
Oh God. Oh
That's
man.
so not close enough to clitoris to make that joke work. But there's a show that did it.
Actually, now that I think, because they never really like.
She's like, oh well, you'd be ashamed too if your name sounded like a female, a bit of female anatomy or whatever.
Mulva.
Mulva.
Why would you go with Mulva?
Here we go. Left cross. There we go. I
know.
Feel like this
Christ.
closes me off to the conversation.
We were just talking about something. Oh my God. I got lost in Zima land.
Talk
again.
about Dave Rubin or some shit.
Yeah, so when we started podcasting, it was like around, but it wasn't like a super well developed thing, and like there was that RSS feed thing, which I still don't fucking understand how that works. I know you're gonna say like, but
no. I mean, I could take a stab at what I think it was, but I'm sure I'll be wrong. I think it's a thing you could do where it would give you alerts about certain websites that would like give you an update
but I don't know
if
where
they
it gives
added
you the
new
alert
content.
to.
I don't either.
Yeah, but it was like a meta tag.
And then since then, I haven't seen an RSS button.
Yeah, but there was like
and
RSS
WordPress or any
buttons,
of that stuff.
that little Wi-Fi looking symbol thing for years, like a decade or whatever.
We had one on our Snowdrift website, and it must not have been connected to anything because
I guess
it
not.
just looked like, hey, every other website has one of these.
But anyway, so we called it radio because, like, what the fuck is a podcast?
Well, not only that, but like our hero at the time, had, let's be real, probably still kind of is.
Oh, still 100%. Yeah.
Art Bell, man.
Art
The guy had Coast
The
to Coast
Kingdom
AM
of Nye.
from the Kingdom of Nye. What was it in something Pahrump, Nevada?
Yeah, Pahrump, Nevada.
And the guy
From
talked
east
about
of the Rockies.
UFOs and ghosts and like government conspiracies and cover-ups and shit. It was the coolest show ever.
Yeah.
And like every night he'd have like some kind of CIA guy be like, yeah, let me tell you the real story, Art. And it was always in the middle of the night, and it kind of like attracted a crazy crowd of intellectuals and absolute batshit crazy people.
That's the greatest thing ever. He would put these, to use your word, canards in front of the audience where you'd either have to be
canard.
Oh God, yeah. Who doesn't? You'd have
like
to be
to canoodle a
batshit
canard.
crazy, or you'd have to be like the most intelligent person ever to fucking figure it out. He'd be like, yeah, so like singularities and wormholes and shit. And some people are like, Art, actually, I'm calling you right now from a wormhole. I'm in one right now. It's actually in a sewer grate in San Francisco.
I love the episode, unless you were going someplace with that. But
No,
remember that like open line night where he's like, okay, just nothing. You guys, it's open lines. You can call in about anything, but please do not call about paranormal stuff. We're not talking about that tonight. And this guy calls in, and Art's like, yeah, you don't have a paranormal story. No, Art, I do not have a paranormal story. I'd like to tell you about a camping trip I took with my girlfriend. We're out in the middle of the woods. It's late.
Yes.
I'll be honest. Started making love. The moment was right. We were in the tent there.
Okay.
So we're up in the tent.
And what
making
happened next?
love. And I'll be damned, Art, if I didn't turn around midway through thrusting into my girlfriend and/or sister.
We've said sister fucking jokes.
If we didn't look up and there it was, Art, Bigfoot. He goes, okay.
All right, we're gonna get rid of that one. Yeah. I thought you were going with the trucker. There was like a trucker that calls up.
Chicken.
The trucker's like, don't say it. He's like, the trucker's like,
that doesn't ruin anything.
He's like, yeah, Art, I got a story for you. And Art's like, it can't be a paranormal. Don't tell listen, Art, it's not a paranormal. It's not
Normally
a
the show's
paranormal
always
story.
about paranormal, but he took breaks every once in a while.
Art, this is a real story I'm about to tell you. I mean, these are trucker stories through and through. The best they get. Okay. And
Half
Art's
his
like,
audience
all
is
right.
truckers.
Yeah,
Trying to stay awake on like long overnight hauls.
Yeah, because the dude did his show between like midnight and 5 a.m. or some shit. And so the trucker's like, yeah, I knew a guy who hauled for Tyson chicken, Yeah, he'd haul them chickens there for Tyson. He'd do a cross country down to Tennessee there, tell you what. And anyway, Art, it's not uncommon. It's not uncommon to to follow truckers. We like to roll in packs there, Art. We take care of our own. So anyway, that acquaintance of mine, he stops over at a motel, pulls the truck over, place for the night. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Art. Next morning they went in there. You know what they saw?
In the hotel room you were staying in, yeah.
Yeah, motel room. It was just filled with chicken feathers, Art. It was just filled with blood. Chicken fingers, and chicken feathers, Art. Let me tell you, he was fucking those chickens. Art says, bang, kicks the cup.
Okay.
All right, yeah. Although there was on that same episode, there's a really cool story that's always kind of stuck with me. They were talking about like it was a paranormal story, but it was like supposedly like a real event kind of thing. They're all real events, quote unquote, from the people telling them. But they were talking about like in World War II, there was a U.S. like Navy pilot or something that takes off, and then the plane lands, and there's no pilot inside, And it was just like, oh, ghost pilot,
dude.
You're
that is
the
absolutely
ghost pilot.
an episode of. I feel like, dude, I've watched every episode of the original Rod Serling, not Sterling. Many people make that mistake. Rod Serling episodes of Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone, yeah.
That is absolutely one of the first episodes of the Twilight Zone.
Damn.
And actually, I think if that's the one I'm thinking of, that's the one where the pilot guy, or one of the crew members of that plane, looks like Tom DeVoe, our neighbor at the lake cabin, our buddy growing up, best friend growing up. His dad looks exactly like him. It was one of those episodes where like the guy's wandering around all by himself and like, or no, that was a different episode. That was where the pilot lands in the middle of the desert and he's all by himself. He doesn't.
Was it O.J. Simpson?
No, it was a white guy.
What was that movie? Oh, that was Capricorn 1.
That was cool. That's a great movie, but that has nothing to do with anything.
Well, no, I was just thinking about pilots in the desert and shit like that. And Capricorn 1 was all about like
in the desert.
They were all about like the potential. Dude, yeah, you find Capricorn 1. Here's your homework.
Dude, Capricorn 1 is a bitchin' movie, and I guarantee you, if they fake the moon thing, the mission,
that's exactly
to the moon,
how they did it.
That's exactly how they did it. Because you go, hey man, I saw like the guys get in the elevator and go up into the thing, and like I saw that ship take off and heard the thunderous roar. Art, the Apollo,
I gotta
Saturn V rocket.
This is so not an interesting story for you, but maybe for like tens of viewers out there that'll never listen to the show. When I went
Ask yourself, would any of these viewers be interested in this?
I think so.
Okay.
Because I don't know. Do you like people like Jim Carrey? Have you ever heard of Jim Carrey before?
I mean, I've heard of him.
Maybe Jeff. What's his last name? Daniels.
Fox.
No, Jeff Daniels. Not Jack Daniels. Jeff Daniels. Arachnophobia.
Here's you guys hoping that we didn't burn some because I'm smelling like a faint whiff of burning.
Burning? I don't smell burning.
Okay.
I think we're fine.
All right.
But anyway, I went to a car show recently, and this guy was sitting next to like a 1967 Corvette, like cherry red. Thing was like
year.
pristine. Oh, the Corvette you had in GTA. in
Oh, the
GTA
classic.
5. Yeah,
Yeah, I love that car.
yeah. But the big rounded sides.
Thanks
and
for
shit.
making that make sense.
Anyway,
I'm not a car guy, but I
yeah,
get
so
that.
I walked up to it and I saw the guy. You know, it's clearly like the old guy sitting next to the car. It's like clearly he owns the car. And I walked up like Jim Carrey and I was like, "We landed on the moon!" You know? And he's just like, "Oh yeah," because the story with that vintage of Vet is that like Chevy was they couldn't give a Corvette to the astronauts because that would look like whatever corporate nepotism or some shit. I don't know how the fuck that works, but they were able to lower the price down to $1, so they were letting the astronauts have these 60s Corvettes for $1. They could lease them, you know, and so that was clearly like the same vintage and everything. And I walked up and was like, "We landed on the moon."
That's so awesome. Yeah, no, all the Apollo astronauts were driving around in Corvettes, bitching. Talking about like the peak of technology at the time and all this stuff, and all these guys were driving like the sexiest, sleekest.
Yeah,
peak
and
of
that's what like
technology
launched
cars
that
and shit.
whole fucking thing as like a brand. I think that's
Like if
so
you
neat.
spend your day flying rocket ships, the car you hop in at after your shift, boom.
Why, it's gotta be a Chevy Corvette.
I think that's cool,
think
despite what
that's extremely
Seinfeld
cool.
says about Corvettes.
Yeah.
Fuck 'em.
Speaking of that, I did not realize how much Six Deep makes me swear again. I've been making swearing great again, apparently. Look
Well,
back.
we're loose-lipped here, and we're sinking all sorts of
but
ships.
but you can't get 6 deep and then expect to have perfect clean language. 6 deep was never about that. 6 deep was like you're gonna hear some shit. And that's the other thing too. I can't encourage this enough to our audience. That's probably why we're recording this at midnight 30 or whatever. It's probably 1 o'clock now. Yeah, midnight 37.
12:35.
12:35. 35. But we're hoping that you're drinking
loves
along.
35.
Oh my god. Last time we're hoping that you're drinking along with the show. But anyway, last
that would help make a lot more sense.
last
Or if you're just
time-
waking up, taking your morning dump, and hate your life. That's me tomorrow morning.
Yeah, but then it's even funnier because you're like, oh, look at those two drunk assholes. Last time we went to Minnesota, we drove my bitchin' Camaro to Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
And Chris made it a point where every time
The jet black Matmobile. Sorry.
Yeah, it was the Matmobile. Quite possibly the greatest. But we were driving up to Minnesota, and you would not believe how many speed limits have a
Bunch
5
of
in
speed
it.
traps, right? You know, like you're on
35
the
miles
highway,
an
it's like
hour.
65 miles an
35
hour, and then you get those things that was like 55 and 45 and
So
35
Chris drove all of 5 miles, the entire 2,000
All right,
miles to
come
get to
on.
Minnesota,
I had to-
and so
10
he
at
was
least.
my point guy for telling me what the speed limit was, and every single fucking time for 3.5 days or 3 days there and 3
It's like
days
when I
back.
finally found something that got to this fucker.
Oh, I mean,
You're like,
just
well,
like,
what's the speed limit? 45.
it's a 45, you know. And so like the whole time I was like, hey, what's
65.
It's 55 out there right now. You're gonna want to slow down, you know. It's like, god damn it, dude. So now, yeah, anytime
It never got old for me, and he
No.
hated it almost immediately.
and I got to tell him the toll booth thing. So like, there's a toll road in, I think
I
it's
forgot
Kansas.
what, like the little clincher is on that story, though. There was like
Oh,
a thing
fuck.
where we found it at the.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
when you're driving from Minnesota or from Arizona to Minnesota or vice versa, there's like a shortcut you can take that's a toll road, and I think it's through Kansas or some shit. Nobody gives a shit about this.
Kansas.
It's a toll road. It takes money from you, okay, in exchange for whatever. So we go on the toll road, and they give you a ticket, and so you have to hold on to this ticket, and you give it to them at the other end, and they charge you the corresponding amount of money or whatever.
Real quick
Nope.
detour. I was like, hey, what's the deal with toll roads? People are like, hey, that's a great idea because you pay for the road that you're using.
Yeah.
And, and then they keep, like, really beautiful facilities and the roads are great.
Yeah.
That fucking road was, like, down to 1-lane construction the entire way.
And the bathrooms. Oh, but anyway, before
I
we
just want
talk
to say
about
that is not the case. at
but
least
they
from
were
our-
repairing it, right? And they were probably repairing it with toll money. So I don't know. Maybe
right.
the next
But,
guy got
it
a better.
was not a seamless drive through. But whatever. Anyways,
Yeah.
you get my point.
So anyway, after thousands of miles of this fucking asshole who's just getting fucked up in the passenger seat for 2,000 miles while I'm goddamn driving the whole time. And anyway, we get to the end toll booth thing where we're leaving the toll road, And Chris had literally one fucking. I'm driving the car. I'm filling it with gas. I'm doing all the shit. He just has one job, which is to hold on to the goddamn toll road ticket. It's a ticket. It's a piece of fucking paper, for Christ's sake. And we get to the toll road, and there's a nice guy at the toll booth, and he says, he's like, yeah, so anyway, if I can get your ticket there, and I was like,
that was great.
I was like, no problem, sir. And I reach up to.
Oh, that's not how he was talking at the time.
Well, I at the time,
Maybe at the very beginning.
Just wait and see. I reach up to grab the ticket, and guess what? There's no ticket there. There's zero ticket. And that's when I tell Chris, hey, buddy, who's so fucked up out of his goddamn mind that he can't even respond to anything. I was like, hey, buddy, where's the ticket? And he's just like, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was, had one job. He messed it up. So now I'm not only I'm screaming at Chris in the car, but now I'm like accidentally screaming at the toll booth guy.
Bad.
At the toll booth guy who's like, he's like, hey, it's really not a problem. We've got him like, this son of a bitch right here. God damn it. I told you.
He's like, really, if you could just tell us when you got on, we
if
can
you could
charge
tell
you
us
the
when-
right. No.
God damn it.
Fuck you, son of a.
And the guy's like, it's $5 if you want to. Just pay. So I pay the $5 when we go through. But oh my god, yeah, it was just
That
like,
dude was so nice. He was just like,
yeah.
just standing there as an innocent bystander.
There was so many points in that adventure.
This just takes like 3 days of non-sleep, straight driving to Minnesota out on this guy.
Well, it was kind of like the worst case scenario because we were driving on like bald tires and shit. Because in Arizona, fun fact, you don't need tread on your car tires at all to live in this state. You can drive way past wire and it's totally fine. You go into any other state though, and it's a huge problem. So we're driving through Texas in the middle of the night, and the whole time we're in Texas, it was like downpouring. So the Camaro, like every time we try and pass like a semi at like 3 a.m, just fishtailing out and everything. It's like, oh god. But yeah, that was
Maybe the way he drives.
well.
By the way, Camaro, really cool looking car. Could not be a more uncomfortable vehicle to road trip in.
Well, I mean, it was
There's
better
like
than
no
a
fuck. I just
350Z,
remember the
but
entire time I'm like trying to like find like a spot for my elbow to fit. Well, I'm like
It's a
there's,
muscle
like,
car.
No fucking like it. There's like a weird crease in the little center console thing, and I was just like, oh, maybe I could just put my elbow in this razor sharp slit in the thing, or what a horseshit vehicle. I don't know. The cooler
But
things
this is coming from a guy who's never owned a bitchin' muscle car, so
I don't see why anybody would want to put their money into something that rolls at 75 miles an hour. I'm not going to stack a bunch of cash into a rolling wreck.
Well, then you just
Something
don't get it, I
smash
guess.
into a wall.
Yeah,
I've never gotten pussy because of a car.
Well,
Got it
then
because
you're-
of this fuck
I was
machine.
gonna say,
right here.
when you're driving a
Chicks are
Chevy
all after
HHR, that doesn't happen.
When you roll
too
up
much.
in an HHR and you're packing this kind of heat.
That's what
Chicks are
women
just
are
like,
looking for.
wow,
They're
he
like,
must
God
be just-
damn, look at
just
that. Is
stacked
that
in
a
the shorts."
2008 right there? Just whoosh.
You know what,
Gone.
ladies? It is.
When I was calling my
take a
insurance
ride in
agent recently, they're like, oh, do you have the Lexus or do you have the 2008 Chevy HHR? And I was like, you know
Oh,
what?
Maybe that one belongs to this guy.
It's like,
She's
yeah.
still in mint too. You want to take a ride?
Oh, that thing is just trashed. I mean, I don't know. It still looks,
Come on, man!
it's-
I've run like 2-3 businesses with that car.
Yeah, it's doing
made
it's doing,
money.
I mean, it's yeah. It
It's
is what
gone
it is.
cross country multiple times. Driven up and down the mountains. We drove to Colorado and back. We lived in that car two
we
different times.
We did the
that
yeah,
car has been our
Yeah.
home actually once for
You're
sure.
right. No, I should.
We were getting squeezed out of a business deal, and we were just like, you know what, fuck it, because they tied our house into the deal with the company, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, we'll
was
ride
a
it
raw
out,
deal.
and we'll live in my fucking car. And guess what? Here's 2 guys that did it.
Yep, totally made
Suck it.
Mariah Carey style made it happen.
You can make it.
Hey, buddy, I don't know about you, but are you down
Make
for
it happen.
are you down for doing a little music break here?
I think we should do a music break and just call it for the night. Are you down?
Yeah,
or-
I think so. So we'll do a music break. We'll come back out, do a quick ender, and you know what? Let's do the ender right now. We'll just make it a nice, sweet thing. We'll end it with a song.
We'll end it with a song. That sounds great.
And then we'll see you guys next time. Also, just a quick little deal here. We're going to try to come out with like a day of the week. We're thinking maybe Friday or something like that. where we're gonna do the 6 deep. That way, it's on a nice like
Yeah,
consistent.
like a weekly thing, you know.
Yeah. And also, wait, hold on. Before we can't start the song, I have about a half of container right now. Where are you at on
We
that?
got a crusher. I'm in the red. I know.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
I
Because
mean, but
I want to make it. I want to put
I've
a
got
head
one
on this
shot
evening.
left of vodka in here for sure.
I want to put a head on this evening and just end it the correct way.
Can they see that we've changed the beerometer?
We have
into
added a
very
color zone to
phallic-
the beerometer.
Or
So
actually, you know what? I won't tell you what we changed it into. Maybe you guys can see. Does that look different to you at all? Does it look manlier?
I don't know. I think it definitely portrays
Put
more
that in your mouth,
masculinity.
audience.
It's kind of like spread it on. Yeah, but I want to enter that what would you call the top of the beerometer? It's almost like the helmet of the beerometer.
I got a helmet right here. You
So
want
we
to check it
got
out?
so it's like we're trying to enter, and what's darker than red? We thought maybe purple, so we're gonna enter into like the purple
The head's
helmet.
always got to be when
Yeah,
the evening comes to a head.
Yeah. So we're gonna try and get it into the
Gonna aim it
purple
right
head
at
here
it.
real quick. Yeah.
There's a little
So
reflection going on here. There
oh,
we go.
there you go. Is that working? All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's slam these. Give me a little dink it and sink it.
Sink it, dink it, sink it. Woo! That is just hot vodka right there. Oh my
It's
god.
just all Zima foam.
Yeah, even though they're White Claws, I never want you to call them that. They're Zimas from here on out. God, your belches always just like pin the meter in there. I can't wait to hear that back.
Oh, you should be so lucky.
Well, guys, thank you for watching. We're gonna play this out, and you know what? Since I'm a nice guy, I'm gonna let Piss pick the song. What do you want? Closing time, or do you want Vampires in New York?
I want Vampires in New York.
All right, Vampires in New York it is, guys.
So until next time, this has been 6 Deep, and let's hear that bitchin' theme song.
Wait, we're not playing a theme song right now. We're playing the music. Now we'll play a theme. We'll close it from over there.
All right, this is Piss and Chris, and instead of playing the bitchin' theme song, we're gonna play some
And
Marcy
Piss is
Playground.
confused.
Marcy Playground, right there. Bam.
Yeah, vape. Do you even vape, bro? Corona vape, coronavirus vape. We're sharing the vape just to get the virus. Some of us kind of want to die. And on that note, come see the vampires of New York. Ha ha. Come lose your mind in Central Park. Ha ha. Don't leave your soul behind. Come taking 8th Street after dark. Such peculiar people, you'll remark. You might even see a murder. Here's our favorite part. And all the horrors on Bleecker Street, yeah, they wear the blissful grin, caused by the drugs they take to relieve them of their sins. Oh, Lord, I think she's dying. Heard somebody say, I think she's dying. Oh Or maybe she's already dead, maybe she's gone to Mars. Maybe we could even write her epitaph in the stars. Say if you go away from here, if you go a million miles, come downtown, see them go. Come downtown into the den of the vampires of New York. Please watch your step as you're getting off, kids. Good to see you guys. Thanks for checking out. See you next time on 6 Deep, our episode 6. With your favorite hosts, Fizz and Chris. Snowdraft!